Well, oh no, I'm already on the wrong set. Ah! Starting off with a bang. I don't even have my guess. I've been looking for this guy, Himawari Kotetsu, all fucking day. Can't track him down.
Mean?
He's
I'm
offline.
right here.
He's.
I'm right. Hi.
Sorry, I think I can hear something. Well, one moment.
Hey. No, over here, dude.
Wait.
The chair's way
Did he
too
get lost?
fucking
One
big.
moment. I gotta
a bookshelf
hold up.
or something.
He might be behind the table. Well,
No, I'm not behind the table. I'm in the.
Okay, I found him. One moment. I'll be. One moment. I got a thing for this. Himawari. Don't panic. I have a thing.
I'm kind of panicking a little bit.
I have
okay?
a button.
You said this would be professional. You came to me. You said you've done this before.
Boom. There you go. We increased your size. Your volume. You should sound a little louder now too.
Hello. Yes.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you so much for blasting me with that growth ray. I hope it lasts longer than just the duration of the stream because I'd like to be able to start taking over the world, but I realize those things are a little bit more to ask. Come on. Let me have Cuba. At the very least, let me have Cuba.
I mean, as long as you don't go alerting certain people of my awareness of me being here, I don't care what you do.
Yeah! We did it, boys! We got our first country. Wait a second. You're not in charge of Cuba.
I'm not in charge of Cuba at all. Not in the slightest.
Not in the slightest. Not in the so it's vacant. It's free. It's free for the taking, right?
I mean,
we can just walk
sure.
in. I mean, you've got like 3 Cubas sitting in your basement right now.
Oh no, only two. I only keep 2 Cubas in my basement.
Only the 2.
Yeah.
3 would be a bit excessive. You know, I don't really know.
Yeah.
3 copies of an entire island nation would be a little bit high. So you invited me over.
Island nation. Oh, I thought we were talking about the people locked up in my basement.
No, that's completely different.
Oh, completely different.
Yeah, whole different thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I have
important.
to clear these things up because you're not going to clear them up yourself. So, you invited me over here.
Yeah.
What are we doing in this pocket dimension?
Well, I thought we would start by having a little bit of a chat about your plans to march your armies across the Great Plains of Ohio to conquer the capital of the world, Cincinnati.
Yeah! Listen, all I'm saying is that, as we all know, America is the capital of the world. Why else would you have so much media set in America, right? And I've been watching Earth's news for a while now, and I just recognized as I was going through it, there's a lot of people talking about Ohio, and there's a lot of memes about Ohio. So, obviously, it goes to say that since Ohio's in America, right? And America is the capital of the world, Ohio must be the capital of America, and therefore the capital of the world.
I see. This makes perfect sense. Have you had a chat with the mayor of Ohio?
You know, I've been looking into it, and I found that they've got a really weird structure. They don't call it a mayor. Like, I would have thought that, you know,
there's a mayor.
The capital of America, that they would have the mayor of Ohio, but they've got all these, like, tiny little provinces in it that have mayors. And then you've got this guy called a governor. And I did some looking into the website 4chan's, and I found out from looking in there that the actual, like, leader, the statement of governor, you have to have an Austrian accent.
Really?
You have, yeah. No. I was looking into it, and I found that you have to have an Austrian accent. So I've been working on that a bit, and apparently you also have to be a robot. I'm not sure about that one, like sent from the future, something to do with Skynet. I'm not sure. I've been trying to really figure it out, but the whole history of this planet is a little bit difficult for me to understand. I mean, you guys have had, like, how many doomsday situations? Like, in 2012, the entire planet ended, so...
It's a little hard to keep track of if you haven't, implanted yourself inside of a human.
Yeah, I know, right?
So, I suggest that as your next step, you know.
Okay, so like, find, like, a human body so I can try and really get this thing going.
Yeah, preferably a living one, you know.
Preferably a living one? Yeah, I could make that work. I think I could.
Yeah, I believe
I was really thinking, like, I mean, I was inspired by you. You know, I mean,
Oh,
the fact
really?
that the king of the spiders could manage to hide as a human being, as well as do we not?
You might have some misinformation there, bud.
Are you sure? Because I saw your chat, and your chat seems to think that you're some sort of spider royalty. That's
confusion. There's been some confusion on that front. They were enjoying putting some spider legs on things. They put spider legs on a picture of me. It was very cute. Very cute.
Okay.
Not canon.
So you are not the king of all spiders?
No.
Okay. Well, that's going to be good for long-term understanding. Okay.
Yeah. I am not the king of spiders.
Sorry about that.
Spider related.
I didn't mean to misidentify you as the king of all spiders.
Yeah.
I'm not
like fine.
Accusing you of impersonating spider royalty. You're not like Spider-Man or anything.
No, not in the slightest. Yeah.
Could you get me in contact with Peter Parker though? I mean, you know, he looks kind of. No, you can't because you're not.
He's not Peter Parker, but I know a guy. I'll.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, his name's John Teeter. You might enjoy him.
Oh. Yeah, I've actually been looking for that guy for a while now. You see, like, we had this guy, John Teeter, who was in our military forces back home, who fled using one of our time machines, and I've been trying to track him down for a while, so it might be nice to have a chat with him and see if he, has any information or whatnot.
Yeah. He's, I think you'll enjoy your chat with him when I
think that'd be a wonderful
drag him back out of his hole again.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I've been looking for him for a while. It might be fun to just, take him back home and, have a nice 12-hour conversation with him in a padded room that has a grate in the floor that we can wash blood down.
Yeah, just be aware he married a war god. So
Oh, that complicates things just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit.
Yeah, they have kids too. It's a bit of an issue. We're trying to keep it contained.
We'll come back to that later. So, you wanted to talk to me about my other plans? About anything else?
Oh gosh, there's plenty to talk about. I did want to loop back around a little bit. There is actually the mayor of Ohio thing. He's yeah, there's a dude. He is mayor of Ohio on Twitter or the TikToks. And yeah, I don't know. It might be a valuable source of intel for you. I'm just saying.
I should go looking over there. I should try and find out, because if I can kidnap the mayor of Ohio, I might be able to avoid the whole brutal, bloody conflict where my army of infiltration robots have to slaughter their way through the entirety of Ohio.
No, it's more like he would have he would have all the information on everything you shouldn't do while invading Ohio.
Okay. Yeah, I need to keep track of that, because you know how it goes. When you're invading a place, you really need to try and keep your soldiers in line to stop them from doing anything untoward, out of the ordinary. Or maybe a little bit
keep them
silly.
from unleashing eldritch horrors.
Yeah. Eldritch abominations, the likes of which humanity has not yet met the ken of. You know how it goes. I know how it goes.
Oh, yeah. Ohio's filled with those, apparently.
Yeah, I was getting a feeling from all of those historical documents I've been seeing shared around on the internet.
Yeah. Historical documents.
Did you know that Baron von Tokentaker once took over the entirety of Ohio flying from his dirigible? I was surprised about that. It was fascinating.
That is
The man had zombies and skeletons. It was insane. It was just the craziest thing. Wait, are you
Speaking of historical documents, don't mind the laughing.
Yeah.
Don't mind the laughing. It's fine. I wanted to go over some historical documents with you. Interactive historical documents, even.
We
might
I've
even
seen a few of
refer to
those.
them as video games.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of those since I got here to try and get a good understanding of humanity, and I think I'm finally getting a good grasp on what makes being human.
Yeah. I've noticed you played a game that I've played it a little bit before, called I Divine Cybermancy.
Yeah. The brozoofs are very confusing, and the cycles of guilt really just bleed into your subconscious.
Yeah. So how did you manage to play that game at all with how completely fucking shit it is?
Ouch. Ouch. Not what I was expecting, but so I have played much worse games, and I actually really enjoy I Divine Cybermancy. It is difficult to get into, and the game itself fights you every step of the way, but I am just fascinated with how they turned their tabletop RPG into a first-person shooter, and really considering what they had to deal with, what they were going through in making it, I think that it turned out pretty darn good.
No, that's fair. And the fact that isn't the game originally in Russian and then it's been translated over? So that definitely doesn't help.
Kind of translated, because the voice in it is not any language.
Ah.
The voiceovers is not any language, but the text, they made their own language for the video game. It's kind of awesome.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I know, right? And the tabletop's actually really cool, too, and the systems are cool. The story confuses the fuck out of me. I believe it's actually French, because it's like aggressively French storytelling. Aggressively French-style storytelling. If it's not French, man, the style is really French.
I really do feel like I remember someone saying it was originally a Russian game. I just don't.
Then it's Russians who like some good classic French cinema.
Hey, There's some good classic French cinema out there, to be fair.
There's some phenomenal Russian French cinema. Classic French cinema. Yes, Russian French cinema. The best cinema.
Russian French.
The Russian French. Like the Texan French.
Well, the Texan. Oh, yeah, the Texan French. At least it's not the Canadian French.
Yeah, the Canadian. Those don't exist.
Yeah, they really don't. Oh. Yeah. But yeah, older games in general, though. You play a lot of those.
Yes, I do actually play a lot of those. Now, my channel is not actually entirely dedicated to older games, but I do really like showing games you might not have heard of or thought of as being anything that you'd ever really see on streaming. You'll note that I go with a lot of abandonware games, a lot of titles that you can get for free just fine. Games that are on good sales, games to show people, hey, even if you don't have the money to get the latest, greatest gaming, you can still get some phenomenal experiments that you can do, experiences that you can have. You can get these wonderful environments that you can play through without having to break the bank.
Dude.
Like, yeah.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no. You go. You go.
No, you.
Oh, no, you go.
No, you go.
Oh, no. I must insist. I must insist.
Okay. You know, if you do insist. No. You go. I have to insist. Anyway, yes, I play a lot of the older games just to show people, hey, there's ways you can do gaming cheap, and there are remakes that can really get you the old experience to play in a new way. Like with the new System Shock remake that came out recently, which you can get right now. It came out just a couple of days ago, and it is incredible. Make sure you go out and check out the brand new System Shock remake, available on Steam for just $30. And that's not a lot of money for a lot of gameplay. Sorry. As I was saying, I play a lot of these games, and I've really just, over the years, gotten to enjoy playing a bunch of different eras of games. It helps that I'm from an alternate dimension, so all of this stuff is kind of new to me, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. It's all kind of new to me, but sometimes you just find a game like System Shock, available on Steam and other platforms right now for just $30. Grab your copy today.
Do I need to put hashtag ad on this?
What? No, I'm not sponsored. I just really like high-quality video games that you can get right now, available on Steam and other platforms. Head out today and grab yourself a copy of the brand new System...
Oh my God.
I can't keep that up. I can't fucking keep that up.
Oh my God.
I was trying to like crank the shill up to 99. Those game devs are gonna be sitting there like, man, we got a lot of free publicity for somebody who's screaming that he hates the fucking game.
Right.
You know, I love that game. Man, I was screaming like crazy how I hated it.
I've heard. I didn't watch any of your playthrough of it.
Ouch.
But
I see. You hate my content, and you hate me.
Yes.
It's okay.
It's true.
It's okay. That's why you brought me on. Yeah, you
that's why I have you here, because I hate your content.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, why wouldn't you have somebody on who you hate completely?
Absolutely. That's literally every single guest is someone that I've hated, truly.
Oh, yeah. The more you hate
100%.
them, the more you're likely to bring them out. So you're saying.
Yeah,
You didn't
yeah.
watch
I
my
actually don't
content,
know
you
what
hate
I was
me.
saying at this point. I'm totally lost in the sauce right now.
You
We're
were saying
doing it good.
You were saying you hate my content completely. You despise me as a human.
Oh yeah. I haven't
And
seen
you
your
didn't
System
watch-
Shock playthrough.
Yeah, you didn't watch my content because you're a horrible human being who hates fun. So
Yes.
carrying
yes.
on from that method, we move
Oh
on.
yeah. Yeah. So I didn't watch much of your System Shock playthrough, but I have heard that you've been having some issues, some difficulties getting through the game. Might be a little challenging.
I told myself, hey, it's the day before my day off where I do almost nothing. I'm going to try and go through until I absolutely finish the game. And I got to the last section of the last level before the final big boss fight with Shodan. And I spent like an hour stuck on that stupid fucking maze on the last level, where you have high-level enemies who drop nothing high-level, but difficult enemies that drop nothing, in a maze that is full of them, that keep spawning as you're trying to solve the puzzle. And this is a
Lovely.
survival game where you have like no ammo. And remember, you have to solve a puzzle at the end of that maze. And I did it, and I solved it after like an hour. Then I got slightly further forward. I had done my quick saves to try and, I've established, I've got my quick saves, these are good. I load my quick save thinking it'll be fine. And it loaded the quick save right before I had started the puzzle. So I hadn't been in the maze yet, and I lost hours of my life because that game, I am fairly sure I use an Intel graphics card, right?
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
run into some minor compatibility issues.
Oh.
Honestly, the Intel graphics card is really good and available from Intel at a reasonable price where you can get it right now.
Oh, they
Don't
actually
worry,
did a
it's
price
in
drop
full
on
stock.
it. It's $199 right now.
It's only $199 right now, and mine specifically is the 16 gigabyte 770, which is a fantastic card for the money, available at certain outlets where you can get it for a reasonable price. Go out and get it right now. Sorry. I'll do it again. No, must escape the shill. Must escape. Ah! But yes, no.
I actually
I have
did
one
try
of
to
those.
use it.
It's a good card. It's a good card.
No Linux drivers.
No Linux drivers, and that's an issue. There's also
Yeah.
some minor issues with the drivers in general, but you have to understand this is the first one that they're really doing as a standalone graphics card.
They're already way better than they were.
Yes,
And-
they're massively improving all the time.
OBS
But I will
supports
say-
81 encoding now. By the way.
I will say, my quick saves aren't working with System Shock half the time. Even when it saves and I check that it has saved, I can reload the save and it'll reload a prior quick save than the one that I had there. So I have to sit and spam the quick save like a dozen times.
What?
Because sometimes it'll just undo my quick save and I lose like an hour or 2 hours of
Is
gameplay.
that a System Shock problem, or is that
I
a
don't know.
Intel? Because that doesn't feel like it should be an Intel graphics card problem, because I feel like we were about to blame it on that.
I don't know. No, I was not going to blame it on that. I'm saying I think it's the way the two are interacting. And that's one of the problems I've been running into with the Intel card, is that it has very weird interactions with certain games. Now, admittedly, they're doing much better. When I first got it, Mountain Blade, Warband, the brand new one,
Yeah.
would use 2% of the card, lag to hell and back, and massively overheat my entire computer to the point that it almost caught fire.
Oh. Oh boy.
It seems to be issues with how it's interacting with older versions of DirectX, or with...
Oh. Yes.
Yeah, with older versions of DirectX sometimes, or with, like, even some newer games that aren't necessarily by the major studios, or by people who don't really think about the Intel cards existing. And you're going to run into that until Intel gets itself established in that market.
Do you know why that is? Because I do.
Oh, you do? Let me know. Tell me!
Yeah, so when Intel was developing the Arc series GPU, they were not designing it with older versions of DirectX in mind.
Oh yeah, I did know that.
Yeah, so it's not actually running those versions of DirectX, it's emulating them.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And it's not emulating them well.
Now that said, if you have problems with those older versions of DirectX and what have you, there is GZ Voodoo, which does... That's how I play most of my older games, actually. I have not had any problems with the Intel card ever since I started wrapping things with GZ Voodoo.
Mm-hmm.
Now, admittedly, with the newer game, I didn't think I had to do that. I didn't think I had to do that with System Shock, but I've run into issues where, well, the game will start lagging out and crash. The game will just decide to no longer accept my autosaves. But even with those issues, overall, very smooth experience, very enjoyable gameplay. The gameplay of the original is intact, but it's got some good quality of life improvements. It's a good game. It's fun.
Oh.
And I think that a good game holds up no matter how far we get away from the game. There are games on the ColecoVision I can still play and really enjoy.
On the what?
Magnavox Odyssey, the ColecoVision. It was an older generation of consoles in the 70s/80s.
Oh,
But
Jeebus.
a lot of those like older games, you can play some of them and they're very, very simplistic. But some of them, genuinely, if you look past the graphics, there's good gameplay loop. There's wonderful experiences there. The Atari 2600 and 5200 had some good experiences as well. The Apple II, amazing system. All of these systems have games that are just really nice.
You don't have to look any farther than Tetris, dude.
Honestly, Tetris. Frickin' Tetris, man.
Dude, it's so good.
Tetris. And the original guy who made it was working for Elorg, and Nintendo never had the licensing for it. Yeah, that was a big scandal. Nintendo didn't have the licensing, they just kind of...
Yoinked it.
Yoink. Well, it's a communist country, they're not going to care.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Of course. Why would they care when they're, on the verge of bankruptcy and look at all that money they could have?
Yeah, look at all this money. Honestly, though, the guy who did it, eventually Elorg, gave the rights back to the guy, and then they founded the Tetris company, and the Tetris company worked with these, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. There you go. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
What I'm saying with all of that is, I play older games not necessarily just because they're old, but because it allows people to have a gaming experience that has quality without breaking the bank. And my main drive with doing the VTubing stuff is showing people there's alternatives. There's ways you can have fun. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be successful. You don't have to be powerful. You don't have to be anything. Just be you. Be you. And you can do that. And you can have fun.
Yeah?
I don't think that's really that crazy a thing, but people keep sitting there telling me, what? That's weird. It's like, what? No. Kinda...
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, like, you can look at, like, a lot of indie games these days, too, that are fairly reasonably priced. That are just, I mean, they're coming out, they're not too intensive on your systems, and, they're just good experiences.
And really, isn't that what we go to video games for? Good experiences? Some people go to them to cry, some people go to laugh, some people go to whatever. Some people go for graphical fidelity, and even if you want graphical fidelity, I'd argue some of the stuff from 2010, 2015 can look better than some of the stuff being made today.
I was literally, like, just a little bit ago, I was watching a guest I've had on before, Kairi Akita. He was playing Kingdom Hearts. And
yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, that one held up fantastically.
Oh my god, the CGI on the opening cutscene genuinely looks like it could have just come out a couple years ago.
Well, and the thing is, like, with a lot of these games, you can have modifications now that'll improve the graphics to modern standards anyway. So you can get a cheaper, older game, mod it, have the higher-end graphics, and guess what? It's still not gonna need crazy hardware to get it proper. It's gonna be a much cheaper experience and get you about what you want out of the modern games. And that's one of the things that I think people just... I want my channel to show people that. You know what I mean? You can make the old games look good. You can get new games that are cheap. You can have a good gaming experience without going broke.
Yeah, no, for sure. It really is true. Like, you can... Especially, like, since right now, building a PC or even just, like, getting something, like, secondhand off the market that's already pre-built is actually relatively cheap at the moment.
Now, it's not the cheapest it's ever been, but it is relatively cheap. That is true. And the graphics card stuff is kind of rebalancing a bit. Nature is healing. And again, I joke, right? I'm not sponsored by Intel. I have no contact with Intel at the moment. I have no contact with Intel at the moment. I just think that really when you're comparing the cards, Intel is a very good, like, low level. I don't have much money, but I want a decent gaming experience.
Honestly, you don't even have to, like, go to a newer card like the Intel cards.
No,
you can get older NVIDIA, like last gen, not even last gen. Like, a lot of people are still using the
1070.
A lot of people are still using the 1070, 1080. The 1650 NVIDIA card, that one, it works.
1650 works fine. I mean, you don't have to buy a brand new, crazy, top-of-the-line anything for this stuff. When I was doing some of my early work, we'll just say, when I was doing some of my early work, I had a Game Boy that I got at a garage sale. I had an old-style VHS camera that I had hooked up to a basic computer, right? So I could digitize it at the library.
Oh my god.
And then upload it. You can even make content when you've got nothing. One of the first things I did was I had that copy, like on YouTube, I had that copy of, I think it was like one of the Grand Theft Auto games that they ported to handheld.
Okay.
And I had my crappy little VHS camera, and I'd film it on there, put it onto the tape, lug the camera into the local library, sit down at the library computer, use my interface cable, plug it in, upload it on the library, take my time, and then that was how I made videos for like the first 4 or 5 years as a content creator.
That's fucking wild, dude.
Well, because the thing is, it wasn't high quality, but if you had your shutter rate proper, you could still film CRTs and other things like that, right?
Yeah.
And if you set up the lightings and whatnot, it didn't look that much worse. It didn't look that much worse than, like, the other folks who were recording with fraps or whatever and getting terrible frame rates, getting these issues, that issue, the other.
Fraps.
You could get around almost all of it if you just did the proper setup, and it didn't cost a lot of money. These days, with modern cameras, modern screens, it's so much easier to just get a cheapo camera stand, set it up in front, put your smartphone on it, you can film the screen. If you properly position your camera and you use the proper resolution on this, most people aren't super gonna notice. Now, admittedly, you probably still want to get a good microphone, but hey, the cell phones got better cameras than they used to.
Honestly,
I'm so happy for content creators these days. They've got so much access.
The level of quality you can get off of even just a built-in phone microphone is so much better than anything you could do even 10 years ago. It's insane.
For those who are not aware, I've been doing content creation on YouTube and other platforms for about 15 years.
Yeah, I actually want to ask you about that.
Yeah. Oh, hey, let's go into it. Let's roll into that.
Yeah, because I know you probably don't want to go too much into it because obviously you've rebranded for a reason. But
the reason
what can we talk about?
Transferred dimensions. What we can talk about is I worked with a lot of very wonderful individuals back in the days when YouTube was really growing, and I saw a lot of the trends that were rising and falling with people doing different creation, people doing these different sort of takes to try and push the envelope. I was there for the early days with Giant Bomb and the Let's Play forums and people just trying out where they're saying, hey, wait a second, we're filming this stuff at home, let's share it, let's get something out there and try and build some new environment so people can sit there and realize, hey, this is a game I like, go out and check it.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we used to have the 5-star rating system here on YouTube.
Oh, God.
I was around for that. And one of the big modifications we had is, hey, you guys can fully change the colors on your channel to anything you want.
Oh, my God.
And put pictures on everything and change all the UI elements. And that wasn't a mistake. Turns out most people went neon green, yellow, and red, and blues, and man, it was an eyesore.
Reminds me of MySpace.
But there was a lot of people I was working with back in the day who were really pioneering content creation with whatever they had handy. And I've got to say, some of those times were the best times of my life because you had people who, none of these people, none of them had traditional media experience. I had gone to school for traditional media. I had an experience behind the camera. I'd done a lot of projects before, right? So I knew how to set up the camera. I knew how to do these things. I was blowing people away with this stuff just because I wasn't necessarily good at it. I look at my old stuff and I just cry because it's like, oh, it's so shit. But for the time period, you look at the other stuff that's around there, I was blowing stuff out of the water. And there were other people who started doing it too. And more people started really like putting their all into this. And at this time, for a lot of it, there was no monetization on YouTube. For a lot of it, you had to find other ways to get monetization. You weren't making money off this. We didn't really have adverts. DMCA didn't know we existed, so we could do whatever we wanted to. I remember one of my favorite videos was by Halloween4545. Not quite in the like earliest days, right? But around the time the original Dead Space came out, one of my favorite videos ever was just him launching Isaac out of the radiation shunt while playing I'm out here again on my own, but I don't care, I'm no Superman. And it's just blaring it. It's just blaring it. He's blaring it. And it's just like, you can't do that on modern YouTube. And there's a lot of things we did back in the day that you can't do on modern YouTube. We had Homestar Runner, we had Angry Video Game Nerd, we had a bunch of those people who were growing up on that stuff. Halloween, I bring him up because I love the man. The man's old content was phenomenal. He's switched over to doing a lot of the live streaming stuff, and I feel like he was really one of the big symbols. He wasn't the biggest channel, but he was one of the big symbols of proper Let's Play content. It was lightly edited, well presented, you cut out the filler, but you don't cut out too much, so it still feels like you're sitting there in the room, hanging out with the guy, playing video games. And people like that were a major inspiration because they were willing to do things that people just weren't thinking of. Because you had the people who would just do, I am filming it, it is getting posted raw. And they were basically doing live streaming without the live. Yeah. Because you couldn't really stream. The streaming we had on YouTube for a while there was a chat room. I believe it used XAT under the hood. I might be wrong on that, don't quote me. And you would show up and you'd watch videos from YouTube as a group.
Huh.
That was streaming. And we had a number of channels like that. There were some animation communities that I was a part of back in the day where they would release their animations. I remember Harry Potter Puppet Pals was big for a long while.
Oh, gosh.
Massive. That was more later. But like we had the watch-alongs. We had these sort of things where you would sit down and you had entire communities spring up overnight and just go massive. It was a beautiful time. Everyone was trying something new. There was no format. We didn't know. What do you do to make a thumbnail?
I don't know. What's the thumbnail? How do I got like 10 of them.
Okay. I actually remember back in the day, because thumbnails, you couldn't upload a thumbnail, right?
Yes.
So I remember Philly D talking about how he would insert like a single frame of like a hot lady.
That's what you had to do.
Yeah.
You have to put a frame in, and you had to like basically edit your thumbnail into the video itself so you could get it on there. That's why we had the intros, right? Because you have the video intro at the start of the stream that has your thumbnail, and then people could see that as the preview and know, this is this part of this series without having to read the title. And you had the 5-star system, and nobody ever rated different than 5 stars.
Or 1 star.
1 star.
So they
there
just
was
replaced
no
it.
middle ground. But like back in the day, we all were trying anything we could to just expand out, build out, do what we can, make something interesting. And then you look at around 2010-ish, 2010 to 2012, was the explosion of the horror Let's Player.
Oh, yeah.
PewDiePie, Markiplier.
PewDiePie.
He changed it to PewDiePie. PewDiePie is the lettering on there, and it's PewDiePie. And
Yeah. It's
but you had
okay.
Markiplier, you had these people, and Markiplier started out as a highlights channel of his, like, cut, snap, rapid fire, just get it, throw it out. And people forget, but those guys started out with some of the worst setups.
Oh,
Some of the worst. Awful setups. And they
You can
still
still
did it,
find
and
that
they made
stuff.
it work. You can't find his original channel, though. That one got shut down hard.
Oh.
Yeah, Markiplier took his success because, well, actually, this is a slight tangent. Do you mind if I go into some of the background?
Go for it. I'm here. I'm on for a ride right now.
So back in the day, they've done multiple things to rebrand YouTube over the years to try and get different content. Back in the day, we had the 5-star rating system. The better your rating, the more likely you are to show up. If more people are rating it, it means it's a better score, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, people would abuse that. They'd brigade. Yes, brigading was a thing back in the early 2000s.
Oh,
Crazy,
yeah.
mid 2000s. You know what I mean? Like 2005 to 2010.
Yeah.
But brigading was a thing back then as well. And so they tried to come up with a solution. Okay, what if we take it out of the equation and we make it about views? Okay, cool. Congratulations. You have the era of clickbait. Where the thumbnail means nothing, the video means nothing. It's crazy. So they're panicking, and they've got to figure out some way to make this work. Well, as far as I remember, and again, my memory's a little faulty, forgive me, I'm an old robot. One of the solutions they came up with was retention time. Well, first watch time, then retention time. And that was right around the time Markiplier lost his first channel. And that was the best thing that could have happened to him, because guess what they were doing? Well, our new algorithm makes it so when people watch more percentage of your video, we'll show more people. Oh, hey, he's got a brand new channel with a few thousand subs.
Yeah.
They all had to go to the new one because the old one got shut down.
And so they're watching all the new content all the way through.
Because they're watching the new content and the old content, he had a wall of content coming up. And because you already had that audience, you didn't have the low retention to start with.
Yep.
The only people who followed him were people that wanted to watch all his content. So YouTube saw he had less than 1% of dead subs. Everybody usually about 20% of people who are subscribed to your channel will be watching your content.
Yep.
It can be much lower. It can be much fucking lower.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it can be as low as 0.5%. I know I had a turnover rate on one of my videos of 0.01.
Jeez.
Back in the day, I used to have regularly turnover rates of like 0.01, 0.05, stuff like that, right? So to have that restart back in the day, one of the best things YouTube could possibly do for a content creator back in the day was to ban them.
Huh.
Yeah. If YouTube banned you and you had a way to get your old people onto the new one, well, guess what? You suddenly got a big, massive boost, and hey, look at that. Overnight, we didn't just gain back who we lost from getting banned. We gained so many more because now the algorithm thinks we're an up-and-coming channel. It thinks we're more popular than we are. It thinks everybody's watching it. It goes viral. It expands. It expands. It expands. YouTube has been, for a long time, a ball rolling up a hill. Once you get it to the top of the hill, if you can get it to the top of the hill each time, it will start rolling down.
Yeah.
That's why some of the most important things about your channel are those first few months. Those first few months are some of the most important things you can run into on your entire channel. People don't respect that enough. You cannot be afraid of starting over. You can't. I have started over dozens and dozens of times. It's like in business. 90%, actually I think it's like 95% of businesses will fail in their first year into bankruptcy. And most businesses are run by somebody who's gone bankrupt 5 or more times.
Oh my God.
You don't understand. It is going to fail. The first one is going to fail because you suck. The second one's going to fail because you're still not good enough. The third one, the fourth one, the fifth one, they are going to fail for various reasons. The sixth one, though, the sixth one's going to start doing good. You're going to panic. It's going to fail. But the seventh one will stand. That's a Monty Python reference.
I actually have something to add to that because I'm still using the same channel, right? That I first opened up on YouTube, what, over 15 years ago now? This is the first YouTube account I ever opened. I kept it this whole time. And the amount of times I've stopped and started making content on it.
And that's punishing you. Because guess what? The second you stop, you're off the treadmill. And you have to start the rolling again. The only way you keep going on this platform is if you keep the momentum rolling. The second you step off the gas for even a second, you're screwed.
Oh, yeah. No, well, I found it doesn't matter as much if you just, like, when you restart the treadmill, it's fine, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
you got to restart the treadmill. But like, as long as you're willing to restart the treadmill.
Getting it restarted is the hardest part because you're gonna look and you're gonna go, I had those numbers before. Stop giving a fuck about the numbers.
Yeah.
The numbers mean nothing. Most of the platform is bots. The numbers don't matter. Like, most of the people on here don't actually exist. Most of your subscribers effectively don't exist.
Oh, yeah.
That's what so many channels don't understand. 1% engagement rate is not bad. 20% is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
20% is phenomenal.
I think the, like, I had it described to me as, like, if a really good click-through rate on a video is, like, 5%.
Yeah.
It's, like, actually incredible.
People don't understand the numbers game here. In order for a channel to be successful, you need to be seen. In order to be seen, you gotta find a way to be seen. One of the ways people get seen is Bagster's method that he mentioned on the previous video. By the way, make sure you go check out the previous video. It was a wonderful stream with Ugly Bagster, where he was on this platform as well, talking with a wonderful Mav here. Yeah, some wonderful content, and you'll love his other videos as much as you love this one. Check it out. You won't regret it. So as I was saying on the previous one, he was talking about like some of these ways that you can get in there with some methodologies. Like Ludwig did some interesting videos on some of these. There's different people who cover these. One of the methods is, of course, picking an existing content creator, making something you already want to do, and writing off there. Another way, of course, is paying for advertising space. A lot of people go, why would you ever pay for advertising space for your YouTube channel? Why would you ever pay for advertising space for your bakery?
Yeah.
This is a business. It's a business. Advertise. If you want okay, I'm looking to you, the audience, now. This is a business. Whatever your channel is a business whether you like it or not.
Yeah, it's making YouTube money.
Yeah, it's making YouTube money. It doesn't matter if you're not making money, somebody is. Why aren't you going to advertise your business? How do you advertise your business? Well, you can use Bagster's method of course, going out and finding a channel and working with them and building content for them. You can pay Google to advertise your channel. But guess what? Putting a billboard in the middle of Detroit for your luxury brand of chocolate bar doesn't really sell your luxury brand of chocolate bar that you're selling that you're selling in Canada only.
Oh my.
No, that's the part I'm getting at. And again, it's a distraction, so you can think, oh no, he's making a joke about Detroit. No, I'm making a joke about you're in the wrong damn country. You're completely out of the ballpark. You need to understand the market you're advertising to. You need to understand where your people are. You figure out, what is my audience that I want? Not necessarily what is the audience I have. What is the audience I want? And if you're going to advertise to the people who need your product. And guess what? Your video is your product. As a content creator, you're the product. And I respect the opinions given by other individuals that, hey, no one knows who you are. Nobody knows anything about you. You're not a good product, so find something. No, I'm going to make myself that product. But you know what I have to do to get there?
What do you have to do to get there? Oh.
You spend some money, you actually get out, and you understand it's going to be slow. I'm going to be wasting a lot of time and money, and this may fail, and I may see nothing, right?
Yep.
If I spend too much, it's going to collapse under its own weight. But if you want yourself to be the product, you can make yourself the product, damn it. It's just going to be a pain in the ass.
I think the best part about all that is that it doesn't just apply to YouTube. It's also just generally good advice.
Yeah, if you want something to be the product, make that the product, and you can make that work, but you have to understand what you're doing to get in there. And you have to understand that you're going to suck at it at first. I don't care what it is. You're going to suck.
Yep.
Singing, dancing, mathematics, reading, writing, anything. It's gonna suck. It's gonna be awful. You are not going to be able to handle it, and you're probably gonna fail. But guess what? So did everybody else.
True. It's
everybody else.
It's so easy to get discouraged by like not doing that well. Just like, oh no, I'm not instantly getting big or whatever. Like, low key.
I'm not instantly getting big. I'm not getting big after 6 years. Oh well.
Yeah. Well, it's like low key. I was like looking back through some of my old content, right? Just like looping back to that because it's relevant. Because
yes, it is.
I did Stellara
because you can
stuff.
Watch it right now by subscribing to this channel.
Well, some of it you can't.
Some of it you can't.
But like I have some like old Stellaris videos I did that actually got like over 1,000 views, and I was just like, oh god, I'm so terrible. I'm not like breaking through. And I'm like looking back on that now, I'm like, I was a fucking idiot.
Yeah, look at how successful you were at the time, and yet the numbers felt terrible.
Yep.
I mean, let me, without doxing myself, let me give you a rough idea here. At one point, one of my projects had 250,000 subscribers, and I considered that a failure.
Oh.
250,000 subscribers was considered a failure because the market I was trying to hit, the environment I was in there, 250,000 people felt like a failure. 250,000 by almost any standards these days, no, that's not considered a failure. That's considered like massive deal, right? Those would be the big dogs. Those are the ones that are getting that, right?
You can make, I mean, that's enough subscribers where you could potentially, if enough of them are active, you know, make an actual business.
Yes, and yet you don't see it at the time because you're getting blinded by it, and you're like, I see. We'll use some examples from people at the rough time period, right? Well, I see the growth vectors on PewDiePie. I see the growth vectors on Markiplier. I see the growth vectors even on Jacksepticeye, who started out as a knockoff PewDiePie.
Yeah.
Knockoff Markiplier. But the guy came into his own, and I think he really did expand out and get it. Or hell, you looked at MatPat back in the day. The man built his own media empire and sold it off and made bank.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But you look at these other people and you sit there going, I suck. And then you're like, turn over. Hang on a second. Look at everybody else who's got 5 subs, 10 subs, 100 subs. But even if you are the guy who has 5 subs, 10 subs, 100 subs, you're gonna feel just as shit as the guy with 250,000 subs. If you're focusing on the number.
Yep.
The number doesn't matter. Number go up, feel good. But number won't always go up. Number will go down. Number go down, make you feel sad. So stop caring about number go up. Number go up no matter. I had to get reminded by you that one of my videos hit 60,000 views. And I'm just like, eh? Yeah. I thought it hit 10K. And I was like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Back in the day, I would have sat there and I would have gone, oh, I got to monetize on that. These days, I'm like, no. Fuck you. Not fuck you for telling me, of course.
No.
Fuck you as in, fuck you part of my brain that would actually say, readjust everything to exploit this thing. Because if you do not have the passion, people are wolves, and they will tear you the fuck apart. They know.
Yeah. No, I've definitely... One of the things I've been dealing with is, like, okay, like, how to get rid of the brain worms that are like, okay, you gotta pay attention to numbers, what's doing, like, well, like, what's getting you views, and do that.
You wanna know a trick? You can't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I did an experiment recently to prove to myself. So if you actually look at my channel, it's pretty, and like look at like the view numbers on the last few shorts I did, the view spread is almost exactly the same as a completely different set of content I was doing.
People get obsessed with like, okay, because prior projects I'd worked on in the past required me to have a lot of obsession with YouTube metrics as part of my job.
Yeah.
My job was to be obsessed with that shit. And I sit there and I look and I go, okay, cool. Let's disconnect the actual content. It doesn't matter whether you're making floral videos. It doesn't matter whether you're making business finance. It doesn't matter anything you're doing. I can tell exactly here what works and what doesn't. Bing, bang, boom, sort this out. And you start to I stop seeing channels as anything. And it's just, okay, this business is meeting these goals. We need to hit these goals instead. Here's the program terms that we set in to find their proper audience for the advertising campaign. Bang, bang, boom. And it became so mechanical. And yes, we made their number go big. Number went really big for some of these people. Some of these people had huge number. And almost all of them burnt out within a year.
Ugh. That...
Almost everybody who came to us burnt out in a year. We got some of these people to, I think one of our big achievements was 1 million fucking subs. We got somebody to 1 million subs. We boosted their ass through the fucking stratosphere. But did it matter? No, because they burnt out hard. Because they weren't ready for that shit.
Yeah.
And they couldn't... no amount of me entering numbers into a data sheet will make you a good content creator. No amount of my research My anything is going to make the channel that somebody else makes have good quality content if the person isn't good quality themselves, or rather, if they don't let themselves be good quality.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
You have to let yourself be good quality. You're stopping yourself. If you're out there and you're realizing your quality is shit, your content isn't really good, you're realizing that stuff is getting you down, it's because you're trying to be great. It's because you're so terrified of it, you can't just be good. These people had talent, they had skill. I worked with people who had major record deals and they went nowhere because they couldn't let themselves just do good.
Just be good enough and not like,
but
don't like perfect
remember you're not good. Remember you're not.
Yeah.
Keep humble enough that you're willing to improve. Because as long as you're able to get a little bit better every day, congratulations, you're doing good.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Chat. Fucking chat.
Mr. Himawari Kotetsu, can I get you to do a little skit for me?
Oh, really? What did skit be? What do you want me to do here? As a
have you heard of a certain meme by a certain individual? It was "Just Do It," I believe it was.
Okay. Was that like a Mountain Dew commercial or?
What are we talking about here? It was supposed to be like a motivational speech or something.
Oh, okay. So it's motivational. Well, yeah. I mean, normally I don't take requests like that, but I think maybe I could try and find something to do here to try and, really get Just do it! Make your dreams come true! Yesterday, you said tomorrow! Just do it! And I think I could really do something like that if I was willing to do it, but I don't think I'm really good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? I don't think you're good enough either. I think we should just can that idea.
We should just can the idea. We'll put it on the back burner. We'll come back to it later. Right now, no.
Yeah, we'll come back to it later.
We gotta do some workshopping to try and figure out how to get it.
Yeah. Gotta workshop it.
A lot of people just get in their head. Well, I have to hit this content creator. I have to copy off somebody else. I have to play the big game, play whatever. No, you don't. Hey, guess what? If you pick a single game that's some obscure game that's a passion project to you and you do the right advertisement, the market exists. You need to find it. Yes, it'll be a pain in the ass. There's easier ways to do it. The easier way to do it is to sit there and go, yes, I will work off this thing that I'm passionate about, but gets good views. Yeah, that works. But so does advertising. So does training yourself to understand the market and figuring out not how do I change my product to fit this other market, but how do I find the market that already needs my product? Because the market is there. The market's out there. The market exists. You need to find it. You don't need the product to match a market. You need to find the market that already matches your product.
Yeah? No.
And so many people can't get that. It doesn't matter if you're doing Minecraft, which I would not recommend doing Minecraft. It's very oversaturated, but it does do decent metrics.
You can do decent with it, even now. Especially if you can sneak your way into a collab with someone more popular and be entertaining. But then we go back to the old method.
We go back to the old method of work off of somebody else as opposed to, building and learning. Because you're not going to learn if you're just working off other people.
It's true.
If you're just working off other content. Now, I'm not saying leeching, right? No, don't get the wrong idea there. I'm still saying that is a perfectly valid method to work off of what other people have provided, build off the foundations, and to an extent, you're going to be doing that anyway. But remember that that's not the only option. Just like spending money isn't the only option. Just like obsessing over your tags, your descriptions, your titles, your thumbnails, that's also not the only option. All of these are tools in your bag. And if you are using that hammer to screw in nails, let me tell you right now, it's not going to screw, you're just hammering the nail. It's going to go in. You didn't screw it in. You get what I'm saying there?
No, I do get what you're saying.
You're using theoretically the right tool for the job, but you had the wrong goal.
Yeah.
And for the goal you wanted, you're using the wrong tool.
I definitely feel you, because I mean, like, I've been going at this, probably, like, seriously. Like, I would say I've been seriously going at this, like, content creation, like, not about a year. Just, like, started trying to do some writing stuff and that, and then sort of, like, moved towards VTubing and streaming a bit more. Just trying to, like, figure it out, right? And learn stuff. Fucking around and finding out, as they say, right? And, there's been a lot of...
I'm just hyperventilating over here because I find it funny. There's been a lot.
But yeah, just a lot of finding out, a lot of learning, and a lot of what you're saying is what I've been kind of learning. Is like, okay, there's all these analytics, and they kind of matter, and, you know, I should pay attention to them, but, like, also, sometimes I should just ignore them and do a thing.
Oh my gosh, somebody who knows.
It's okay.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
And I knew it in theory, right, before, but, like, it wasn't until just recently, within, like, the past couple months, that it really just fucking clicked. I was like, oh, it doesn't matter.
Hey,
at all.
You want to know the best? You want to know the best thing about all this? You can do literally everything right and still fail.
Oh, yeah.
You can do literally nothing wrong and still fail completely. You can do everything wrong and still succeed. Every single thing could be completely wrong. I'm filming on my cell phone using my flip phone's microphone to record, and I'm drunk and I'm mumbling into the microphone, and I'm recording Fortnites, which has a bunch of different people already in it. And I title all my videos Video 001 and 002, and you could still theoretically, it's not likely, but you could still theoretically get a massively successful channel, even doing everything wrong. So understand.
I mean, just look at Tyler 1.
I could do a course on Tyler 1. I could do a fucking lecture series on Tyler 1. I'm not going to.
Yeah, let's not.
Oh man, I kind of want to, but no, stop it, brain, no. But I totally could. It'd be funny as fuck.
We do have a limited amount of time to work with, so let's not dive into Tyler 1, because I could also just go on about him for like probably an hour.
Go on and on and on. But yeah, basically, like, once you understand that doing it the right way or the wrong way doesn't fucking matter. It matters, but not nearly that much. And being successful is different for everyone. As when you're at the top, there are many nights as somebody who has decent finances, who has these decent things, and I've been both up and down. I'm down right now. But even when you're up, and it's like you've got things people would kill for, you've got like everything around you, and things feel good. There are still nights where you sit there, and you stare at the ceiling, and you just sob. Because it's the same failure internally. Whether you have millions or nothing, whether you have viewers or not, whether you have the metrics, whether you have any of this, that's not gonna make you happy. Success isn't going to fix your life. You are going to fix your life.
Yeah. That was a hard lesson I had to learn.
Like it's only a lesson that you can learn. Me saying this is flapping my robotic gums. It's adjusting my little mouth PNG. Because you're only gonna learn it when you learn it. You have to be ready. And most people aren't. Some people are never ready. It's not gonna fix anything. It's still gonna suck. You're gonna hate yourself the same that you did yesterday, that you do tomorrow, if you don't change how you're approaching.
No, and that's something I had to learn in like the last few years. Like,
after the events of 2020, nothing was the same.
Oh, what happened in 2020? Did you get a new haircut?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Oh, that's
I got a new
cool.
haircut
That's
in
cool.
2020. It was great. My
that's
life
awesome.
didn't
That
fall
sounds
apart
great.
at all.
Wow. Wait, why would your life fall apart for a haircut? Was it one of them? Was it a bowl cut? Did you go for a bowl cut? You shouldn't go for a bowl cut.
I went for a bowl cut. Yeah, it was.
Why'd you go for a bowl cut? You should have known your
mistake.
entire life was gonna fall apart. Nothing wrong with the bowl cut. It's just there's better haircuts that you could do for, your mask structure.
It's true. I made a
A
terrible
bowl cut
error.
doesn't work with your mask. I'm just saying. You know, maybe like some nice flowing frills, maybe like a lion's mane or something. But like with your mask,
Oh my god,
I don't
a
think the
mane.
bowl cut was a good choice.
Okay, low
Maybe
key.
some spider legs? I don't know. Oh, sorry, you're saying?
Motherfucker.
Had to slip it in there.
Low key, I for the longest time had an afro.
Oh, hey.
Like actually.
I used to rock one of those myself. They're fun.
Yeah. When straightened out, it went like past my my shoulders. It was very, very large.
I have been there myself, man. At one point, I was just like, make the hair as long as possible. And
Hell
poof,
yeah.
Poof!
Just big poof. Big
For
poof.
most of my life, though, I've been rocking the Marine Corps cut.
Oh. Yeah, fair.
It's easier to maintain. I know I can hit the exact regulation, and it'll always look the same.
Yep,
I can cut my hair myself. I can cut budget myself, and in my current situation, cutting budget is really important.
A few years ago, I bought a $20 like buzz cut trimmer thing, right?
Yeah.
And off of Amazon. Still using it. Basically, I just at this point, what I do is I do the sides, and I have a sort of I don't want to say a mohawk. It's closer to like, oh gosh, what's
mohawk?
yeah, kind of like a faux, halfway between like a faux hawk and I'm trying to remember the name of the haircut, like the traditional Japanese gangster haircut where they got the fucking
okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. It's a French
Even
hairstyle
if I can't remember the
originally.
name, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like a French hairstyle originally. Some
I have
clean
seen
or
that
whatever.
haircut a lot, more than I want to. Anyway.
But yeah, it's like in between that and a faux hawk. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about there, and that's not a bad look. How did that ruin your entire life in 2020? Come on, man!
No. That's my current haircut, not the haircut.
Oh,
from
okay, the
2020.
bowl cut that ruined everything.
Yeah,
sorry,
the bowl
sorry.
cut ruined everything.
I forgot the lore
Truly.
here on like your personal life.
Oh yeah.
What happened in 2020?
It's
I mean,
fine.
my
I
2020 was
understand you
pretty
don't
good.
you don't care about me at all. It's fine.
Oh no, I don't. I actively just do not care about you. In fact, I'm using you for your millions of views to try and just like steal attention away.
Excellent.
That's exactly what I'm doing here.
Okay.
I actually hate you. I
okay.
legitimately just hate so much of it.
Good. I'm glad that we got that sorted out. We're on the
We
level
did sort
here.
that out. Yeah, we both hate each other, you know, I mean, that's pretty good.
Now, speaking of hating things.
Oh, speaking of hating things. It's
Yeah.
almost like I know the segues.
Some of your prior work that you've done in the past, besides YouTube.
Yeah.
You've done some professional work. I mean, like you mentioned even here that you were like classically trained in video production.
I've done a lot of work. I've done level design for video games before, texture work. I've done 3D modeling, sprite work. I did some private security work that I will not talk about. I did some, acting, of course, radio plays, presentations, a lot of voice acting for about the last 8 years or so. It was a really fun time.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask about that, your voice acting, like, because you're pretty good at it, from what I've seen. How did you develop that skill? Like, did you go to school for that? You just...
yeah, I mean, it was a really long process. I woke up one day, right? Got home from my security job, and went, I'm gonna do acting. I mean, and that was it was really stressful, and it was really like, man, a lot of thought went into it. I spent almost 2 minutes thinking about what kind of mic I was gonna pick out, and almost like 5 minutes actually deciding, hey, let's get this schooling here and do this. And, okay, cool.
So what you're saying is it's all natural talent.
No, it's all natural being able to accept when you're shit and knowing that you're gonna be shit, and eventually people stop thinking you're shit.
Oh. That's crazy.
I know,
that's exactly
right?
what I did.
So legitimately speaking here, with voice acting, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but with voice acting, a lot of people don't understand that anybody can do good voice acting. It is about learning how to control your own voice, how to move your diaphragm. You'll notice that I can talk for ages without having to really stop for any sort of breathing. The secret is actually that I'm sneaking in the breathing in the middle of the sentence. And a lot of these things are things that you're kind of just learning naturally over time, and you're keeping the flow interesting. These are all things that anybody can know. And actually, I'd say if people have told you you have a really good voice, maybe you shouldn't do voice acting because you are going to be hard handicapped by having that nice voice. Some of the best voice actors I know started out with a terrible voice. Just the freaking worst. But over time, they're willing to sit there and learn. This is how I make it sound better. This is how I do this. They talk to other people. The way you get good at it is the way you get good at anything. You accept that you're gonna be shit starting out.
Oh, so you're saying...
You think I came out the pussy writing Mozart? You're wrong!
So you're saying that, you know, since I always heard from my parents growing up that I have a voice for radio and a face to match, that I shouldn't be doing voice acting?
Okay. It's funny that you bring up radio. I'm gonna use this instead as a bounce-off point for a topic that is a major issue. Do you know who has some of the most trouble getting into voice acting?
Oh, no, I don't.
Who has the most trouble? It's not like Joe Blow who worked out on the farm who just decides to pick it up. It's not the airline pilot who's never done anything but talk on his little speaker there. It's the radio DJs. They have the hardest time. Legitimately, those people can spend decades trying to unlearn what you have to learn for radio because radio is so massively alien to voice acting. They're two completely different fields. Even if you've done voice acting for radio, it's completely different. It is nothing like anything you've been trained for your radio. Well, because you've got different goals there. And the other thing you have to remember is voice acting is constantly changing. Our standards of what is good voice acting are going up and down and up and down, and it's always shifting, and you have to be constantly keeping track of it. When you have, for example, a demo reel, the big suggestion I get from most people is get a new demo reel every 2 years, because the standards will have changed so much. Your old demo reel that was fantastic 2 years ago will be dog shit now, not because you're worse, because the industry has gotten schizophrenic and changed its mind on what it wants.
Oh, so you gotta match what the industry's looking for, basically.
You are a product. When you are a voice actor, you are the product. And you are selling your voice to these products. You are a product being used for products to sell products. Nobody cares about the person behind the voice.
Yeah.
Nobody ever does.
You're not an individual, you're productception.
Yeah, you're the product. And let me tell you right now, what do you think 95% of all voice acting work is?
Talking into a mic?
No, it's not acting a character. It's not acting at all.
Oh. Enlighten me. What is it?
The majority of the work that has ever been listed for this voice acting, the majority of the work that gets done is crappy work safety videos that no one wants to watch. Everybody's gonna hate. It's commercials that'll go on at like 2 or 3 in the morning that no one's gonna see. It's radio commercials that they're gonna throw on as cheaply as possible. It's a deluge of work that is just miserable. The vast majority of it will never require actual acting. What it requires is getting you to convince other people these days that you trust them.
Or that you're trustworthy?
You.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to, and I hate that so much. I hate that so much. Modern voice acting is no longer about acting, which I love acting. Acting's fun. Acting's awesome. Yeah. Become a new person, be a new character. No, it's manipulate the audience who are watching your commercial into buying your product, and I hate that so much. It used to be, back in the day and up until fairly recently, you'd have your voice acting voice where, hey guys, you can tell that I'm a commercial that's talking to you to try and sell you something. This allows you to be diffused slightly, where you'll be entertained, and I'll get you that product. Aren't you excited?
Yeah! I'm so excited!
But at the very least, it was more earnest. It was more open. It was more honest. It was more...
Yeah.
Like, you knew it's a commercial. You had a distance. You could have the distance between this is what is going on the screen, and you know for a fact it's a commercial. Now, they're obsessed with the idea of...
One moment. Apologies. There's, I have to interrupt you to fix something on my end. We should be good now? Sorry, construction. You may continue now. My apologies.
No, I'm just squeaking. I'm making a squeaking with my fan.
Oh, okay. I can't hear it at all on my end.
So I was slightly jittering so I could try and make like the squeaking with my fan just to be as annoying as possible. And I guess you just couldn't hear it.
No, I couldn't hear it at all. No.
Well,
the
that's because of
hammers
my microphone's in.
from the construction literally right fucking next door on a fucking Saturday.
Hi, it's Saturday. Do you guys want to hammer louder? Let's get hammered, guys. Let's get hammered. Yay!
I just wish
Yay!
just 2 days of the week. 2 days of the week. Can we not have construction?
No, you can't. It's construction all the time. So like I was saying, a lot of the old voice acting, it had more of that sort of earnest, like, you can tell this is a commercial. Now, they are obsessed with the idea of making it conversational so that they can stop claiming anything. Modern day advertisements want to avoid being sued above all else. So you'll notice, they always start with, my doctor said, I heard it said.
Oh.
This was said.
So they can claim hearsay.
They are never claiming anything. Any modern commercials aren't written to sell you anything. There is no product they're telling you about. There is nothing they're saying. Anytime you're watching a commercial and you hear, I heard, that is them defending themselves from any potential of you being able to claim anything. Doctors say, 9 out of 10 doctors, 1 out of 4 doctors, anytime they're saying that, it's meaningless. They're literally telling you this could be a lie, this could be true, this could be anything, it doesn't matter. And so they're obsessed with conversation and manipulating you into thinking that this is a conversation they recorded between people. So many of commercials are that. And it's all about manipulating the end user into believing that you care about them. Or even not that you care about them, but that they can trust you. And I hate that. Like, I genuinely want to help people here. And yet I sit there and I look at that stuff and I'm just like, well, hey, I'm going to say it because I'm not exactly planning on getting other voice acting jobs. Most of these people are scumbags. They don't even care about the product they're selling. They don't care about the script that they're writing. They are scum of the earth who have gotten this job because con artist wasn't good enough for them in terms of how much money they could make.
Oh, that's spicy and I love it.
Yes. Hey, I do get spicy when it's not my channel. Hearts. Kisses.
Well, good
I'm not
shit.
gonna risk my channel. I'll risk your channel. Hey, there you go. Let's throw you in the bus. Let's go.
Yeah,
Out of the
let's
bus.
go. Where? Truck.
Oh,
No.
No, Truck-kun. No.
Did you
Well,
see
guys,
that there's
if he wasn't a spider before, he's been reincarnated as one.
Oh yeah. I got reincarnated as a spider. So what? Good show, by the way. Very fun.
So good. I love that so much. Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah. I was gonna say that's all that shit. That's fucking depressing.
Yes, it is. Welcome to Why I Do Comedy to try and cope.
Oh,
hey,
yeah,
guys, they're getting hammered. Hey, we're in an alternate dimension. Stop hammering so loudly.
Right.
Guys, it's a glass. Stop hammering the glass.
Well, speaking of alternate dimensions and getting hammered, because, you know, I can't do subtle segues.
You can't do subtle segues. You're gonna get better though. You gotta accept that you're
Oh,
bad.
no. This is just how it is. This is how it's always going to be. I'm not going to get better at this. I'm going to get better at making them less subtle.
Then choose to get worse, my friend.
Oh, yeah. And on the subject of being bad and worse at things, tabletop RPGs are something that I enjoy.
Tabletop RPGs.
I enjoy them quite a bit, and that's how I learned how to manipulate my voice and do a lot of voice acting.
I thought you were going to say how I learned how to manipulate my friends. I thought that's where you were going there.
I was going to avoid saying the quiet part out loud, but yes.
Too late. I said it for you. I reached in there and I'm like, that's staying in your throat. Let me just...
There's something.
There it is. There's the quiet part. Let's say it, baby.
No. But really,
yeah.
but yeah, I just wanted to touch on that a little bit because that's where I did like a lot of my voices and stuff, and sort of like learned how to control my voice.
And that can honestly be a fantastic way to get started. It can be a good way to try and get like good social skills and whatnot. If you guys have trouble talking to other people, try going to tabletops, and you'll see that other people are so much worse. Oh my goodness, they're so much worse. Like I don't care how bad you are, you will find somebody who is worse.
Oh yeah.
You will, and he'll probably be your GM.
Oh yeah.
He will probably be your GM because the people who want to GM are fucking psychos. I know because I'm one of them.
Sweats. GM.
Sweat. Oh, GM Kun, I noticed you're getting a little ripe.
Oh, no sniffing on this channel. None.
Is that new lack of deodorant I smell?
Is that boy I smell?
Is that boy I smell? Ooh.
Oh, good shit.
So
good shit.
GMing is a good way to get some good job representation as well, because you can put that stuff on a resume these days, and most people are nerds. They're gonna know. They're gonna sit there and they're gonna go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But also,
I've landed jobs for that kind of stuff before.
It gives you experience in organizing people too.
Organizing, in leadership in general, it gives you so many ways that you can actually experience the world and get a good feel. Also, I notice my ass keeps clipping out of this dimension and into another. Could you please fix that? I'm tired of my ass vanishing. People already say that I'm flat. But as I was saying,
What if I made it worse?
What if I... No! Don't take away my dump truck! It's my best quality! I've got buns of steel! Literally! I'm made of steel!
Fix that. I actually think you have to fix that on your end. Yeah, I legitimately can't fix that. I've already done everything I can on my end.
I don't... Okay, fine. So anyway, as I was saying, there's a lot of really interesting ways that... It's not even doing that on mine. Like, I'm looking at the thing, right?
I don't understand what's happening, honestly.
Are you clipping? Have you adjusted?
Let's stop everything. I have not cropped anything. I took the raw link you gave me, I pasted it into a fucking thing in OBS.
Welcome to the wonders of VTubing, where we can have flaws all the time, and my dump truck ass keeps falling away.
Oh, that's so strange that it's doing
No,
that.
my ass! Why? Hey guys, look, I'm reaching into the void. I'm gonna grab a soda out of it. Oh.
It's weird that it's doing it like that. One moment.
Anyway, so like I said, tabletop RPGs are a phenomenal way to get a lot of work experience and a phenomenal way to get voice acting. Because, oh god, I'm in the void! No! I tried to get the Coke, and it reached me into the pocket dimension! You have no idea what's in there! It's all spiders all the way down! It's literally a dimension of pure pain and spiders! Never send me back there!
You're welcome.
Why do you have that? Why do you just have a dimension of pain and spiders? Who does that?
1337 had some odd hobbies, and I have his stuff now.
Why?
I killed him.
I saw Elvis Presley in there! Elvis Presley!
Is that... Wait. How did he get in there?
That's where he was! That's where he is! It's not aliens, it's spiders!
Oh.
Anyway, now that I'm not facing infinity, tabletops are pretty cool! I think they're really useful. And legitimately speaking here, I think that part of my big passion for voice acting comes from RPGs and other things that you're able to do when you're younger, and you're able to get those sort of things out of the way of getting bad, because man, you suck as a GM when you start.
Oh god.
Like anything, you're awful. You don't remember the rules, you're forgetting your storyline. That's why I usually recommend people start with a pre-scripted one that's already an adventure path. The problem is so many GMs don't even bother reading the adventure path that they're working from.
Most adventure paths are shit anyways.
Oh, no, they are shit, but if you're already shit and the adventure path is shit, you'll learn to be forced to make it decent.
Oh, true.
That's why they're important. They are shit, and you will learn to recognize the shit. You will learn to recognize, this is bad. Why don't I like that? That's why I like that they're bad. If they're bad, it allows a new GM to sit there and go, why don't I like this? What's introspection is the key for almost everything. So guess what? If the thing's bad, you're gonna be able to introspect. Wait, I can do it this second.
There's spiders in there. Be careful.
Sorry, spider bit my hand. I don't know how I can feel it. My hands are literally metal. He bit my hand. Is that gonna swell? Can metal swell? Guys, do we have a doctor in here who can tell me? Can metal swell?
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Swell? Okay. Like,
You'll be
it feels
fine.
tingly. Like the fact that I can feel anything's kind of
It was
weird.
digital. It's fine.
Okay, it's digital. It's a digital spider. Okay, that's even worse. You trapped me with digital spiders. That's even worse.
Well, there's only a few.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why do you do that to me?
Look, you keep reaching into pocket dimensions.
It's not my fault that you store the pocket dimensions. You store the pocket dimensions in the room with your interviews. Why? You can't store them. Store them in the closet somewhere.
I don't store them in here. They hang out around me. I can't get rid of them.
Okay,
it's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I used to do a lot of Shadowrun back in the day, actually. Shadowrun was a phenomenal one to try and get into this stuff in general because Shadowrun has so much lore. A lot of people don't realize that you can travel dimensions in Shadowrun.
Really?
Yeah, there's dimensional travel, there's time travel, there's pocket dimensions that can collapse. There's the Great Traveler. There's like this big entity that stops people from crossing over without following certain arbitrary rules. The astral level is a different dimension that you're accessing temporarily, simultaneously existing as ours. There's pocket dimensions all the time. Any weirdness in somebody's campaign is just because you're a pocket of reality.
Fascinating.
And there's an entire dimension where literally everything is a living creature made out of crystals, and if you break off the crystal, it forms tiny crystals that if you breathe it in, will never leave and will eventually kill you.
Oh.
And they've been harvesting them as jewelry. Yeah. But there's all kinds of crazy stuff like that. What I say is, there's so much different there. And the reason I bring that up, right, that specific, is you can throw all of that out and the setting still works. You can add in so much. There's a Mars colony. Nobody runs the Mars colony in their games. Nobody plays with the Mars colony. Well, of course, after CFD, the Mars colony got filled with, people who had their consciousness overwritten with AIs, but there's the lunar colony. There's Rapture. It's not actually Rapture, but that's the best way I can explain it. It's like the Bioshock city, right?
Yeah.
Do people know what Bioshock is anymore? I'm always confused with that. Like, do we know what that is, or is this another old man reference? Like, when I tried to talk about my ZX Spectrum.
People know what Bioshock is.
No, I legitimately don't know, because I tried talking about the ZX Spectrum in my tape drive. And it's like, nobody knows a single fucking thing that I'm talking about here.
Sorry, the what? The ZX
Spectrum?
The what?
Fucking hell, you're doing it too. Okay, cool.
No, I actually don't know what this is. I'm not doing a bit, I swear.
The ZX Spectrum is a home computer system that was manufactured by an individual who made audio equipment. The home computer market in the 70s and 80s did not have the crash that other gaming consoles had. The Great Gaming Crash didn't affect PC at all. It only affected the home console market. So ZX Spectrum was thriving, other companies were thriving, other countries were thriving. You had Japanese personal computers that were thriving. Gaming was everywhere. The Nintendo was not supposed to be a home console. The Nintendo was the Nintendo Entertainment Center.
Yeah.
Which was the Nintendo Entertainment Personal Computer. The original version of it came with a keyboard and a mouse.
So wait, you're talking about the ZX Spectrum then? Okay.
What? Yeah, the ZX Spectrum.
Yeah, ZX Spectrum.
Yes, that's what I said.
Yeah, you said Z very weird. It kind of threw me off there.
I said it the correct way.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I said it the correct way.
I apologize for your deficiencies.
I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna find a way to punch you through the void.
No, I live near the border, so I hear people say Z a lot, but
the classical border between the United States and England. We have a land border with them.
Wait, do they say it like that in England too?
Yes!
Oh, so
ZX
that's
Spectrum
why...
was a British console.
Oh.
Like, there's also the BBC Micro, which was really cool as well. There's a lot of these things.
I know about that. That's the origin of the ARM chip.
It's so cool! I love these things, but I sit there and I'll talk about these, and it's just like, this doesn't exist at all.
Okay, did you know that the original ARM chip almost literally didn't run off of any power?
Yeah, it's so cool, isn't it?
Yeah, like
so fucking cool.
It ran off of the excess current that was being transmitted through the chassis because they forgot to wire it in properly.
It's so cool.
It ran off of less than like half a watt or something like that.
What I'm saying though, with the main thing in there is, they even had things like BioShock style underwater cities, and all of this stuff your average player isn't gonna know exists.
Yeah.
All of this stuff. There's werewolves in there. There's zombies. There's crazy things. There's Dunkelzahn's will, where he's like, hey, if you guys can spend one night in this Bavarian castle, you will get hundreds of millions of new yen. And no one, as of the 2080s, has ever been able to do it successfully.
Oh, wow.
Canonically. There's all these crazy things like that, right? There's ghosts, there's spirits, there's dragons, of course. There's the stuff that everybody knows.
Yeah, and you can
there's
ignore
digital
all
ghosts,
of it.
there's the otaku, there's all these different things, and you learn all these things so you can learn what to throw the fuck away. And you're gonna throw the fuck away most of it.
It's really true. As someone who's done like a lot of running in the Pathfinder system and blatantly ignoring their lore, it's you can just ignore shit like regardless
Which is why
of the system.
I never understand why people are frustrated with like, oh, Dungeons and Dragons has changed this, that, the other. Oh, dude, but we don't listen to them anyway.
Yeah, well, it's
you have no power here.
Yeah, that's why, like, I don't know. I just sort of ignore companies' lore and make my own because
the company's lore can be a decent foundation for like the extra shit you don't care about.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
I love just using bits of the existing lore and being like, okay,
yeah,
snag a little bit here, snag a little bit there, sprinkle in some spice, strimple it in. I like it. It's great. It's fun. It's awesome.
I do that all the time.
The thing with so much of it, though, is, my goodness, do people not understand that you don't have to use all of it? You know what I mean? It's like the rules.
Yeah.
You don't have to use literally all of it. In fact, you're probably better off not.
You can actually just slice out chunks of the lore and drop it into a new world.
You can slice out chunks of the rules, too.
It's true.
Like, there's something called rules lawyering in tabletop gaming that a lot of people get into, and it's like, you don't understand. Rule number 0 of tabletop gaming is the GM's word goes.
Yep. As long as you're consistent about it.
Well, as long as you're consistent about it. I mean, hell, I've run Shadowrun games for over a decade, right?
Yeah.
And one of the ones that's been running for the last, 4 years, we've gotten through, 2 months of gameplay, and we've almost never used, combat rules or almost anything, because we're doing actual, just storytelling, building, growing, getting an environment where you're just focusing on things. And they've gone from being street scum, which is one of the starting things that gives you almost no gear, no anything, to highly educated street scum in the course of 4 years.
Hell yeah.
They're now heavily educated street scum, and it's like, well, you guys still aren't rich, but you are educated, so there's that.
Tabletop
we also had a long running Mav and Himawari. Oh, hey.
Monty making a suggestion here.
Hit me up sometime. I'll run some stuff. I'll be like, yes, the ultimate tabletop.
I'm actually I need to put some more work into it, but I'm planning on doing a one-shot or something that I run with some folks.
Ah! Sorry, it happened again. Sorry. I thought I could actually sneak in.
Look.
I thought this time they'd be
moment.
friendly, like if I took a slower approach.
One moment. I might be able to fix this.
But I thought I could take a slower approach and they might be more friendly. They seem nice enough, but they keep biting me when I shove my hand into their pocket dimension. See, it's like, I'm fine.
Oh, God. Oh, God, I'm doxing people.
You piece of shit. You piece of shit.
No, I'm not. It's fine.
I thought you just doxed me on live stream. I'm like, I trusted you. I trusted you.
It's fine. You're fine. You're fine. I'm fixing things. You guys are getting to see behind the curtain. You like it? Whoa,
Yeah,
that was a little too much.
I'm literally in 2 dimensions at once right now. It's kind of cool, guys. Just, whoa. I'm petting the spiders in this dimension and in the other dimension. Man, those spiders, they're getting nothing. Like,
yeah.
I think that's why I'm finally able to, like, reach in there. I'm petting the spider right now. Hey, little guy. Hey there, friend. Hello. How are you? Who's your good boy? Who's your good boy?
Yeah.
Now there's the Green Lantern version of Himawari, as well as the traditional.
Yeah, you can be on top of each other.
Yeah, we can hang out. Hey, face one of them towards me so I can just talk with myself like I normally do. It'd be great.
Yeah, just completely exclude me. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I'll be in both chairs, and people will just be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Rest in peace, Vod. No, it's fine.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
God, I understood that reference.
Yay!
Yay!
I finally found something he understands. Woo!
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Calm down there, bud.
You didn't know the gambler. Piece of shit. This guy didn't know the gambler.
I didn't know the gambler. I still don't know the gambler.
I'm so sad.
Speaking of
You
songs,
gotta
though.
know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to DMC, know when
Okay.
to A.
Real talk, though, I do want to talk to you about singing and
Yeah, I know.
stuff.
But why do you
Come
think I'm
on!
trying to segue us through? Let's go.
I'm trying to make the segue as brutally obvious as possible here, and you're trying to be subtle over here, motherfucker.
Wow!
Wow!
This guy, he comes in here and he's like, Himawari, I want to show you the spider dimension.
My name's Himawari Kotetsu, and I'm a
Is that what I
giant
sound like?
fucking bitch.
Is that what I sound like?
Yeah, exactly what you sound like. 100%.
My
Definitely not a
name's
bitch.
Himawari Kotetsu, and welcome to Jackass. Hello? Mr. Obama? Please, help me! I'm drowning! This is what I
good
sound
stuff.
like now for the entire rest of the interview. Okay, ask me a question. You want to hear about my beautiful
Oh, no.
singing voice.
What have I done? What have I done?
You've opened the
Okay.
gates of hell, and now you shall be thrown in, from whence there is no escape.
Oh, okay. Well, been there, done that.
there,
Singing,
done
though.
Yippee!
I'm terrible at singing, as can be evidenced by a certain
No, you're not.
time on Monday. Oh,
You're uneducated. You're not terrible. You're uneducated.
okay. Explain.
Congratulations. It's the same thing with voice acting. It's about getting trained. It's about understanding your limits and knowing your voice.
Okay.
It's about knowing what keys you can sing in, figuring out, practicing, spending like half an hour each day doing warm-ups. Or at the very least, before you're doing a performance, take out like 40 minutes to do a vocal warm-up. Every time I'm doing any video, I take about 2 hours of vocal warm-ups to make sure I'm not frying my voice.
When I do stupid shit.
'Cause it's fucking awful! Every time! Do you know how often I have to ask where the drugs are going? But yeah, no,
Okay,
it's about
okay.
it's about practicing. It's about warming up. It's about understanding. And part of it's learning how to breathe. I can tell you right now you don't know how to breathe.
Oh.
Like just from listening to your singing, you don't know how to breathe. Now that sounds like I'm saying, oh, it's the most obvious thing in the world. Breathing? I've learned that automatically. No, you don't. When you breathe, you need to puff out the chest, hold yourself steady. You're not moving your shoulders. You're kind of just moving your shoulders
You
back
said
a
you're
little
not moving your shoulders right as I move my shoulders.
bit. Yeah, well, you're not like, you're kind of moving it a little bit back, but you're kind of locking it, and then you go. That was a whole breath. You couldn't even fucking hear it.
Ah.
And I do an entire breath because I'm breathing like I'm sleeping.
Okay.
When you're sleeping, you're breathing naturally. Why are you breathing differently when you're awake than when you're sleeping?
Huh.
Where did you learn to breathe differently? Because the way you're breathing when you're sleeping is when you're not making the conscious effort. The reason you breathe the way you do is because you're consciously overriding how your body breathes.
Okay. Okay.
That's part of why your singing doesn't sound good, because you're not getting the right level of air with the right speed. So you're running out of time. Part of the issue with being able to hit your voice high and low is that you have a muscle inside of your body that is vibrating. It's two little flaps. Looks kind of like naughty part.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of vibrating against each other. And you got to try to keep it like tight for the high notes and loose for the low.
Okay.
But remember, it's not about having more air. When you're lower, you might want more air, slower motion. When you're
Going high, you want a little less air, but you want to keep it doing a lot of motion so you can get even higher.
Okay, I did have a very specific question for you, because I can do a lot of like what you're describing there, going low and going high. But Monday I couldn't. My voice just locked up and I couldn't move out of a certain range.
You're not calm enough. You're not relaxed. Singing has to be relaxed. Singing has to be calm. Singing has to be calm so the throtussi can do its job. You have to understand that when you're... What? Did I say something wrong here? I'm just talking about the throtussi. It's the technical term. Your throtussi has to be working properly in order to be able to rumble and have a throgasm so you can get the words out.
Oh my god.
I don't see what the problem is here. I'm just talking about the throtussi.
Oh,
Do you not have a do you not is there a problem? It's a technical term.
We're fine.
That's what we all call it.
Let me have a drink here.
Oh, okay. Hey, look at that. YouTube. Oh man. YouTube? What's that? Oh, hey, Susan. I didn't think you were working at YouTube anymore. Okay, yeah, I'll wait on the line so you can put me with the new CEO. Oh, hey there, buddy. What's going on?
Yeah, one moment.
You're taking Mav's channel?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Wow.
There we go.
Wow, that's
Just a little bit of day drinking. Don't mind me.
Wow, man. Like, wait, and you're banning him from the internet too? You got in touch with Elon Musk to ban him from the entire internet? Wow.
Yo.
Most say-so VTuber my ass. I am say-so. I just also know that everyone calls something an ussy, and I don't fully know why. I just know that it's a thing, and I know it makes people laugh, so I go for it.
You definitely don't know what you're doing at all. Okay.
I know what I'm doing from context clues because I'm fairly good at detecting those. I just don't actually know entirely why. Because it's like everything's in.
Do you not know the origin of Ussy?
I don't! I don't!
Okay.
Like, legitimately. No, when people
No,
like...
it came from TikTok, okay?
Okay, so it was from TikTok.
Yeah, so there was a guy, he would talk about Wendigos a lot, right?
Oh, okay. And let me guess, Wendigossy?
Wendussy.
Wendussy.
But there's a deeper origin than that.
Yeah.
That's what made it popular. But
okay,
what
so that's like the big
where
time
it
when
started
hit,
was
like,
femvoice and the pussy.
That's not a thing. That's an anus.
It is a thing. The pussy is in the heart.
That's not a...
The pussy is in your soul.
It's not...
Don't question it. Just open up the pussy in your soul. It's fine. You too can become a femboy with training. And expansion of certain holes.
This is the worst thing ever. This is the ruination of my life. Nobody saw that, lol. It's fine. Anyway. No, I genuinely didn't know what it was. I just know that, like, I've got a few friends who will constantly call everything an ussy.
Yeah, so it got it got started with Bussy, and then it got like it just like what made it so that it transformed into other things was some dude, you know, being like, "Oh, I'm gonna hit that Wendussy."
Okay, because like it's the comedy there, for those who don't know, being that the thing is terrifying, so you'd never be attracted to it. So you're saying, I'm gonna hit that Wendussy, implying that you're sexually attracted to something horrifying.
Yeah.
Which the comedy then becomes apparent once it's been explained.
Thanks
like
for explaining the joke.
Thank you. Yeah, the reason I explain the joke is by explaining it, you're killing the joke, which therefore makes it funny again.
Yeah! Woohoo! We looped back around to comedy.
Yeah, comedy.
Comedy.
It's just it's not that you're bad. I don't really think even somebody who's tone deaf can learn to fake perfect pitch. You can, legitimately. It's a training thing. It's an education thing. It doesn't matter how fucking bad you are at singing. Eventually, like with any instrument, with the proper training, the proper intellect behind it, and by intellect, I mean the will to learn, even more than the ability to learn, right?
Okay.
With the proper will to learn, you can do almost anything, because a lot of this stuff is route memorization. It's memorization of the techniques and application of emotional inflection in order to better represent what you're trying to hit. Now, it sounds like a big bunch of complicated words, but it's basically...
No, I get it.
The rules... Well, I'm explaining it for anyone who doesn't. The rules only exist to allow you to better apply it to your emotions that you're getting across. Like chess, exactly, Monty. I made jokes during the System Shock one because I really do not like chess, right? I hate chess. I fucking despise chess entirely because I was forced to play it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I like shogi because I wasn't forced to play it, and it's close enough to chess that some of my stuff carries over, right?
Yeah.
It's close enough. I like shogi, I like Othello, I like a lot of different board games, right? Yeah. That whole thing, I regularly broke down during the System Shock stuff. It's just, what the fuck? Why? Why? 2 hours on a chess puzzle? Why? And then in the end, I just looked up the answer, and it turns out I was one move incorrect.
Oh.
I was exactly right except for one move.
The amount of times playing God of War that I've had issues where I'm like just slightly wrong.
Hey, how's that spike trap going for you, buddy?
I got past it.
You did? Oh my gosh, you got it! Oh, that's so cool!
So it turns out it's even easier than previously explained.
What'd you miss?
Well, you don't do the spike trap at all, right? Like was mentioned. So what you do?
Yes.
You do the whole triangle jump. You do the L1 plus X like rotate thing, and like as that's coming down, you got to interrupt the animation with a jump, and then you can grab the edge.
That's what we were trying to tell you, but you just weren't seeming to get it.
Yeah, I literally just had to watch someone. I'm a visual learner.
Well, I'm a learner.
Fuck you. But yeah, no,
I can't flip you off, but know the urge is there. Know that the urge is there.
Text explanations don't work very well for me. Verbal explanations don't work very well for me. I need to like see a thing happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why you needed to see that I'm actually professional firsthand. Gotcha.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm so skilled.
Yeah.
I'm so amazing. I'm so just the best thing ever. I love me.
Well, somebody has to.
Yes, somebody has to, so it might as well be me. And everyone else once I make it mandatory. Yay.
We'll look into that later on.
But yeah, no, a lot of things are genuinely just about route memorization, like chess, right? Because in chess, it's not really logic, because it'll always work the exact same way, right?
Yeah.
It is memorizing the possible moves because there are a finite number of moves that can actually be done here, figuring out the most common moves that will be made, and hoping that you can understand enough moves ahead more than your enemy. That's why computers are good at chess, because chess is just a game about memorization.
Yeah.
Unlike actual warfare, in actual warfare, you're not going to have the same people. each one of your soldiers is his own personality, is his own person.
Well, and
your soldiers can disobey orders. Your soldiers can rise up, stand down, defect to the enemy. Your soldiers have families that can be threatened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of the most effective things I'd think about chess. Oh, hey, their knights are kicking our ass. Well, I found the knight's daughter and I killed her, killed his family, or injured them significantly. Now he's not thinking right. Congratulations, he can't take my bishop anymore. But you can't do that. You can't. Chess sucks.
You sound like a Crusader Kings kind of guy.
You can't hold his family against him and make him entirely paranoid that he's gonna just lose everything so he doesn't do a good job fighting. Crusader Kings is great, by the way.
I need to get into it.
Okay, so a lot of the Paradox games are very difficult to get into. I don't like 3. I think 2 is the perfect level of, like, simplification from the classics. 1 was pretty good. 2 was, I think, a nice middle ground. 3 is way too streamlined to the point where you're basically just watching it play itself. Personally speaking, right? I also like Hearts of Iron 3 better than 4, but 4, I still play, right? I still play 4 of Hearts of Iron 4. I still play Crusader Kings 3, and it's a shame they never made a sequel to Victoria 2. But, that said, I think that really, it's a long learning curve to start, but some of these, specifically with the Paradox games, the classic ones, sometimes the more the learning curves that's there, the learning curve's there because guess fucking what? Being a leader's hard. And if you want to actually have it anywhere near any semblance of reality, it's gonna be fucking hard.
Oh yeah. I'm a Stellaris player. That shit's...
What I would rather they do, instead of simplifying everything so you can't do the more complex, and this would be more effort than people are willing to put in, of course.
Yeah.
But what I think would be best is if you just sit down and have optional AI. There's a program that I was using for a while, I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically a World War II era officers training course board game that they digitized.
Oh?
It's normally supposed to take like 80 players.
Okay.
So you have the two different sides of a conflict, and you are not ordering your unit on the field. You are passing orders through letters that are written documentation.
Oh my god.
Down the chain of command to simulate the errors that can happen in you giving that order to the people beneath you, so on and so forth.
So it's basically just a massive game of telephone.
It's telephone, but people's lives are on the line theoretically.
Yeah,
It's a telephone-based RTS, effectively.
That's wild.
You had ammo counts, you had all these different things. And what I liked about that is there was a digital version that was made of it, and they had optional AI, so you could turn the AI on for different levels of gameplay.
Oh.
Okay, I don't have my officer's corps with me. We're doing like a 5-man game. So I'll turn off all of these offloaded onto the AI, and then I'll just focus on it. But you could do the whole thing. You could even do the whole thing yourself.
That's
take forever.
Wild.
But you get what I'm saying, right? I think that's the way they should have gone. Because the problem we have with, right now, a lot of game studios, is a problem that we have with voice actors, is a problem that we have with singers, is a problem that we have with every single facet of culture these days. And you may or may not have noticed, but I've been networking this entire conversation partially around some of these points of showing these to you. Our big problem right now is an attempt to appeal at the widest audience possible to get the most money possible, when a far better approach is to appeal to as many small audiences as you can with different things for each group. Because as I said earlier, in the YouTube channel thing, the audience already exists. Find it and your product will sell. In the case of Paradox, they had the audience. But they've chased the elusive wider audience, but guess what? The wider audience doesn't give a fuck. They don't want your game. Your core audience give you money. The core audience give you money. Your core audience is whoever's actually giving you the money for the product. By expanding it, when they were buying it, to include people who don't buy it, you're not going to make them buy it. You're going to lose the audience you already have. Appeal to the audience you have, get hardcore appeal to the audience you have, and other people, if it's good, will eventually filter in. That's why I think that the way you can appeal to a wider audience with these games, that they would never want to do, would be have it just as complex as it always was.
Yeah.
But have the option to turn on automation.
Yeah, that's
and
a good
maybe the
idea.
Maybe the automation doesn't work as well. Right?
Okay, so that's actually a thing in Stellaris.
Yes, and I think Stellaris was a proper step in the right direction that they didn't go far enough in.
They've been doing some stuff, but
they've been getting better. And again, this is not me railing on Paradox at all.
Oh yeah.
I like Paradox.
Just in
I
general.
still buy all their DLC. I buy their shit. I'm buying their products. I am their market. I'm the guy who is sitting there playing freaking Hearts of Iron 2 and loving it.
Hell yeah.
I have been a long-term buyer of their shit.
Yeah. No, for
and
sure.
that's why I give any fucks at all to even bring them up. Otherwise, I just throw it aside and go, I don't talk about shit I don't care about.
Well, I think Bagsterd in my last discussion had a very good point. And that's
as he does usually.
He usually does have good points. But and it loops into our conversation where gatekeeping is good, actually.
Yes. Gatekeeping is good.
Yeah.
Gatekeeping is good. But the thing you have to remember is gatekeeping is not good because it stops people from enjoying your product. It's good because it allows anyone to enjoy your product. The freer, quote unquote, you make your product, the less people will be able to enjoy it. Because you're going to always exclude somebody. You're just changing it from excluding everyone who's not your audience. You know, excluding people who aren't paying customers to excluding your paying customers.
Yeah.
It's not hard. Don't exclude the people giving you money.
That's I mean, there's certain industries right now. Sorry, something got stuck in my throat. That are currently failing.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Because they were trying to be inclusive when it didn't make sense.
I would not use the words trying to be inclusive because I'm a pussy and I don't like using those words. I would instead use attempting to chase a wider audience, which they would say as a good thing. And I would say you already had the wider audience. Batman in the 60s proved you have the wider audience already.
Yeah.
And it didn't have to change much.
True.
Legitimately, you have the wider audience already. You can only get the audience so wide before your audience doesn't exist.
I agree. God, it's so painful watching these companies gimp themselves by appealing to the lowest common denominator at every opportunity.
Explain that word you just used. I don't.
Lowest common denominator?
No. Gimped themselves.
Oh, gimp. Oh, do you not know what gimp means?
Not in this context.
Oh yeah, so a gimp is basically a cripple, right? So if you gimp yourself, you cripple yourself.
Okay. I think I understand that a bit. I would.
A bit. It's basically if you gimp yourself.
Okay.
So
for
like
as good as my language is.
Yeah.
Give me ESL. So some things are missing.
No, that's fair. So a manner in which you could gimp yourself, right, is literally shooting yourself in the foot.
Okay, I've heard that phrase.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay, so it's just they're shooting themselves in the foot, but we're using a different phrasing. That's
It's American slang.
Okay, it's just a different slang term for a different terminology. Cool.
Yeah.
That's what I was double checking there to make sure because I can fill in a lot of gaps in linguistics. Yeah. Most of my discussion is filling in gaps and guessing what people mean based off of an understanding of the English language.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're like, I know the image editing software.
You're also insanely fluent for being ESL, by the way.
Hi, hello. Yes, it's because I get obsessive when I want to learn something.
Himawari is hooked on phonics.
I think I need context. I don't know if I want it. No, the context was he said that gaming studios are gimping themselves by trying to chase the wider audience.
Oh, it's not just gaming studios. It's a
society
lot of media.
General, a lot of different media is all trying to... Because I think that we've gone... The New York style of business etiquette, which was done in the 1960s, 70s, 50s, we had it done for a long period of time, was decided to be an issue. Even though it worked, it was decided to be an issue. And we keep trying to replace it but nothing ever works as well.
Yeah.
And we just keep trying to replace something that wasn't broken, refusing to go back to the thing that worked. Yeah, it's like, okay, I am constantly paranoid, honestly, about my linguistic understanding of a lot of these things. A lot of the reason why I'm able to speak as fluently as I am is because of my learning coming from white papers, the Bible, and just generally more complicated literature. That then I can start with the harder, more difficult linguistics properties and work my way back to simple things.
That's a really good idea, actually.
If you can get good at the hard shit, the easy will be nothing. Again, that's why I played System Shock on the hardest everything, so I could go back later, play it on even just one step easier, and sweep the whole fucking game beginning to end and look like a pro.
That's... okay. I like that a lot. Okay.
That's how I do almost everything. You do the hardest stuff you possibly can, because you'll get so sad, so frustrated, so pissed off, and then you'll feel like an ascended being the second you go to the normal shit that you're supposed to do.
Oh, I've been having a lot of that at work lately. I've been, like, tearing...
Being an ascended being?
Yeah, being an ascended being, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But no, tearing... So, I work on printers for a living, and so I've been having to do, like, full deconstructions of printers on a alarmingly regular basis.
What's your favorite?
My favorite printer?
Yeah, favorite one to work on.
Ooh.
I've got a personal answer, but I'm asking you.
My favorite one to work on right now is an HP model by the name of... It's the M600 series that's currently in deployment.
I'll be honest. Mine's kind of a cop-out, but it's anything dot matrix just because they're so much easier to work on. They're so good for text!
I understand why you think they're easier to work on, but the only dot matrix ones I get to work on are wide format.
Oh, you piece of... Oh, I am so sorry for you.
The minimum paper size, like the smallest one that I get to work on for that is 36 inches, capable of 36 inches. And I'm qualified to work on the ones that go up to 60 inches. And I'm one of...
That sounds miserable!
I'm one of a handful of people who is qualified for that in my state.
Well, I mean, okay, to anybody who's saying, like, yeah, dot matrix, what the hell? You don't understand. For how cheap you can print with them, and the quality you can get, there's no reason to go otherwise if you want affordable, high-volume printing.
Yes, it's true. And that's why a lot of print shops have very large, wide format dot matrix printers.
Because honestly, once it gets large enough, you're not going to notice the dots.
Yeah, well, you don't notice the dots, and, like, you can actually get higher quality out of it because of how you can do it. And especially with the way dot matrix works now. But I just... When the printer is bigger than me...
Yeah.
And I have to take apart the entire ink system to replace a single cable.
Yeah. I can see why you might not like them.
Yeah. Anyways, enough of me ranting about that. Mr. Himawari Kotetsu, we've been going on for about 2 hours now, and I like to keep these a little bit bite-sized, a little digestible. So let's end off here with where can we find you?
Where can you find me? Well, I am doing something that a lot of people are not. I am on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can use whatever you prefer. Twitch.tv/Himawari Kotetsu, I believe it is for the Twitch one. I think, let me double check. Yep. Twitch.tv/Himawari Kotetsu for Twitch. And over on YouTube, and there's no possible way I can read that because I'm stuck with numbers. Or just at Himawari Kotetsu on YouTube. I guess they started the at system as well.
Yep.
You can also find me on Twitter.
You
can find both of us on Twitter. That's right.
Yeah, you can find both of us on Twitter, and you can find all three of those links to Himawari Kotetsu down in the description below.
My goodness, it's like you're a professional or something.
Not even a little bit. I'm just...
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
I'm mildly organized. That is about it.
I gotta say, if you were a professional, I might not have gotten bitten so many times by the spider you mentioned. The spider dimension was causing some problems. I'm just gonna say it.
It's fine.
And I did lose part of my dump truck ass inside of your set.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I'll get it back to you.
Thank you. Just ship it to me in the mail. You don't have to like cool it or anything. I'm a robot, so it literally just like they corroded the bolts on my little like dump truck ass that I have bolted on there. And so it kind of fell off into the spider dimension. So if you can get that back to me, I'll be kind of happy on that front.
Yeah, I'll get you a replacement.
Yes! Sweet! Because it's like, they don't really make replacements for my ass plate anymore. You know, they used to for years, but then they're like, well, you have to upgrade to the new model of intern bot. I'm just like, I don't wanna. I got these propellers. They're so much better than like non-Euclidean floating technology.
Yeah.
Anti-grav lift technology. It's fine, but it's not really my style. Give me a proper propeller any day. Like, they had to fight hard to sell me on these new hand replacements, and it's only because my claw is kind of busted.
Oh, of course.
I don't like this whole... It's disconnected. You know, if I lose power, these fingers are hitting the floor. If I lose power, they're hitting the floor, and I'm gonna have to try and find them. And do you know how many times I've lost my middle finger? How many times it goes missing? And that's my favorite finger.
I can only imagine how many times you have lost your middle finger.
I know, right? Like, I mean, you may not be able to tell from, like, this distance, but you can literally reach over here and you could pull one of these off, and I wouldn't be able to do anything about it. And it sucks.
Don't tempt me. I might just do it. But rather than pulling your finger, I'm gonna end off the stream here.
Hey!
And leave chat. Look at that segue. Nothing like it, no LTT segue to their sponsors. Instead, I'm gonna segue to my outro. Bye, everyone! Wherever you may be, morning, afternoon, evening, or night, whatever time it is for you, I hope you're having a good one. I hope you enjoyed this stream. And, yeah, take care of yourselves, okay?
Take care. Don't die! That's an order.
Bye!